I'd like to share with you this week's Parshas, Pנחs, something very nice from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Yitzchok Zatzal. This week's Parshas, we have, at the end of the Parshas, we have the mitzvah of bringing the korbanos, the offerings, the sacrifices on the Yom Tovim. And it's known, as Rashi brings down, on Chag HaSukkos, it was 7 days, they brought 70 bulls. Ashmin, it says, was one parechot. And as Rashi explains, the 70 bulls correspond to the 70 nations. And the one bull on Shmini says corresponds to Bnei Yisrael. Everything in Torah is exact. In the 7 days, how they divided the korbanos wasn't 10 a day. Hashem could have made 10 a day, 70. No. If you look, the first day is 13, and the last day is 7. So the fact that the Torah divided the korbanos in such a way, there must be a reason. Why 13 first day and 7 the last day? What does that can have to do especially with the number 70 and the Umas Ha'olam, the nations of the world which shows on Klippa where God is concealed. So I would like to introduce a subject, and I'm going to say it in short, something that I myself didn't really know about or even learn a little about it till I learned the studies and the writings of Rabbi Yitzchok. But everything in Torah is exact. And there's nothing that Rabbi Yitzchok doesn't touch upon and shows how everything fits. We know when David gave us the letters in the Torah, he gave us 4 things. The actual design of the letters, the crowns, the ksorim, and those 2 things we have written down in the Torah. The other 2 things was how we chant the letters, the Taimei HaMikra, and also the vowels. The vowels, all that was given Baal Peh, from generation to generation. The vowels is not just a coincidence. Every vowel has a meaning, the nekudos. And we're going to discuss a moment in the Kudus. Just in short, in the Chassidus, there's a lot they talk about, and Rabbi Yitzchok has tremendous amount on this. Just in short, as you see the diagram over here, so the Arizal explains we have the komats and the patach, and the komats and the patach are different than the other nekudos. All the other nekudos have dots. The komats and the patach has a design. The komats is a line and a dot under. The patach, a line across. All the other ones have just dots. Explains Rabbi Yitzchok. The Rizal explains every dot adds up to 10, like a yud. Every line adds up to 6, like a vov. So if I have a kometz, I have a line and a dot, that's 16. A patach, a line, 6. Together, the kometz and the patach adds up to 22. Explains the result that corresponds to the 22 letters of Hashem, and that's why it refers to the Chochmah and the Bina of Hashem. Komatz is Chochmah, Pnas Chochmah, and Patach is Bina. The other 7 Nekudos, which is Tzeres, Segel, Shvor, Choyle, B'chidek, Kubus, and Shuruk, which again all dots, they correspond to the 7 emotional attributes of a person, the 7 midos. Now we know that Hashem says, my Chochmah Bina is the Torah, and that corresponds to the 22. That's the design of the Nekudos, of the komets and the patach. Now it's interesting like this. The komets explains the Chassidus. If you look, the komets and the patach is different than all the other 7. But all the other 7, I don't have to open my mouth very much to say them. Chirik, Tzeire, Segel, I can keep my mouth closed basically. But komets, patach, you open. Symbolizing that when you understand what Hashem wants, you have His wisdom and you have His understanding, which is the Torah, the 22 letters. You understand it, then it broadens your relationship to Hashem. I'll give a simple example. A father tells a son something. The more he explains to him, the more he shares with him chokhmah bina, the child appreciates and understands. If he just orders him, commands him, tells him what to do, like that's without expanding it, without explaining what's going on, it doesn't always register. It doesn't always connect. And that's why Hashem says, take das la case of it's not only enough to have a munah, to have faith, you have to have also understanding. And that's the kamas and the patach. So when you have the 22 letters, the kamas and the patach, then you understand. And then you have a much greater feeling for Hashem, and then you do mitzvahs with more enthusiasm. And that's why that's Chabad, having wisdom and understanding. Now let's look on the other 7. The other 7 are only dots. Explains the Chassidus from the Arizal. That's every single thing in this world that comes from Hashem. But that's like dots. It's concealed. That's the sparks. That's all over the world. That's in the 70 nations. And that's why it's a total of 7. You have Tzeira, Segel, Shvo, Choilam, Chirik, Kubutz, and Shurik. 7. 7 corresponding also to the 70 nations. And this is the 7 attributes of a person, because as explains the Chassidus, a person could have love to Hashem, and God forbid you can have love to things that you're not supposed to have, to klippa. How do I know where to put what and how to navigate and what to use out each attribute in the proper way? That you need the comments in the pattern. You need the wisdom of Hashem. And that's the Torah, the 22 letters. It's a very lengthy the subject. I have no time to explain everything, but this is in a nutshell, the whole concept. The dot symbolizes where Hashem is concealed in the world. It's called Nekuda. And our job is to bring it out, to elevate it. And that's through the power of the Torah, the 22 letters, which is Hashem's wisdom and understanding. Now look at this incredible thing, says Rebbe Yitzchok. So how many names of Nekudas that we have, which is only dots? 7. Now let's count up for a second. How many total dots are there in all these 7 names of Tzeira, Segel, Shvo, Choilam, Chirik, Kubutz, Shuruk? Look, very simple. Tzeira has 2. Segel has 3. That's 5 already. Shvo has 2. That's 7. Choilam 1. 8. Chirik 9. Kubutz 3. 12. Shuruk 1 dot 13. Says Rabbi Levi, that's incredible. We see over here in the Nekudes where Hashem is concealed over there. In other words, it's a holy letter, but this gives rule. Hashem created the world. Some things are openly holy and some things are concealed. These Nekudes, where you only have dots, symbolize where Hashem is also gives room where he concealed himself, and the job of a Yid is that he should elevate it to Kedusha, and that's through the comments in the Patach, the 22 letters of Hashem. Now explains Rabbi Levi this beautiful thing. We have 3 things over here. We have total of 7 names of the Kudos, Tzeira, Segel, etc. And then we have 13 details. That's in total of the amount. And that's why in the 70 nations of the world where Hashem is concealed, the first day is 13, corresponding to the 13 dots in total, and finishes by 7. Symbolizing of the names of the Nekudas. And as Rashi explains, why isn't it the opposite? Why didn't Hashem start with the 7? To tell you, the Goyish power in the world, the Klippa will go down from 13. It diminishes, not goes up. And that's why Hashem started with 13 and finishes by 7. Just to conclude something very, very nice. It's a very lengthy the subject, I hope you understand. In the letter Ayin, which symbolizes the nations of the world, we have 3 things. What's called the mispakoton. If you take away all the zeros, the root of 70 is 7. 0 is nothing. It starts from the number 7. And that's what we have over here, corresponding to the number 7. We have 70 nations. Letter Ayin. Now if you take the letter Ayin, how you verbalize it, you have a total of 3 letters. Ayin. Milui. Ayin, Yud Nun. Ayin, Yud Nun adds up to 130. Now here you see how so beautiful it is. If we, like we said before, if you count each letter as a dot, If you count, we have total of 7 nekudes of tzeira segel, but the details we have 13 dots. 10 times 13 is how much? 130. And that's also ayin in the miloi, how you express it. So all these interesting hints. Number one is we have total of 7. That's why we had 7 bulls the last day. 13 the first day corresponds to the details. And also the 13 details of the dots add up to ayin bimiloi, symbolizing the number 70. So the last day 7 also is connected to 70. The first day 13 also connects to ayin, because it's 10 times 13, 130. So we have the letter ayin. All this symbolizing that a yid brings the karbonos on Sukkot, which is corresponding to the 70 nations of the world, to elevate it through the Torah, and that's the parecha that Hashem gave to us, and that is the comments, the patach in the beginning, the 22 letters of Hashem. We see how everything in Torah is so exact.